Okay, what an awesome experience to have the NFL draft in Detroit. The De Detroit did it so well, the NFL did so well with all the things that they added to open the NFL draft with, like, Detroit legends. That was awesome, and then, bring Michigan Wolverines up there on day 2 and then have legends from Detroit announce picks. It was all great. So let's take a look now that the draft grades have started to come in, kinda compile them all together and see how the Lions really did, and I thought it was outstanding, and because you can't take for granted how well Brad Holmes is doing. I mean, look at other franchises. We talk about the Falcons. I mean, that idiotic move. Can you imagine that? Where you're just like, you wait all year for the draft and you make a move like that and draft a backup quarterback. you know, don't take for granted that Brad Holmes did the right things, smart things, traded up, got aggressive when he needed to. I love it. Here's Terrion Arnold. Let's take a look here. Um, Let's go individually really quick, and then we'll look at what nationally the draft grades are. So remember, we take Terrion Arnold, first round, 24th overall. A lot of people had him a top 15 pick for sure. Top, he was PFF had him number 8 overall. Just kind of a power ranking. But we know that quarterbacks went, a lot of different things happened, and there he was. He is an instant starter as our number 2 corner. Plug and play instant starter at pick 24. Brad Holmes moves up to get him. Love it. And by the way, let me know in the comments your favorite draft pick as we work through this and who you're excited to see. Here's my favorite, Rakestraw. We had him at 29 overall. He was in mock drafts that high, but he's got a little bit of an injury history that slowed him, not history, but an injury that slowed him down during the pre-draft stuff. And that's maybe why he fell. He's fast, he's physical. Another corner, boom, right in there, going to be a backup. I mean, we go from a backup. Will Harris was the backup there at the end of the season. You can't have him in the game. He cannot get in the game. Now you've got, man, Rakestraw's in. Maybe he's competing. Maybe you've got 3 corners out there. Maybe you've got Brian Branch moves to safety for a minute. Rakestraw comes in. There's just a lot of different things you can do now. It's a great pick. It's a great pick. Then we don't have a 3rd or 4th round pick. So it's like, well, this sucks. I hate the draft. This draft is so stupid. And then all of a sudden, what? We're back in the 4th round and we get Giovanni Manu, offensive tackle. So we all know kind of by now the story, 6'8", 350 pounds. First of all, none of us really know anyone that's 350 pounds. And if you do, they're just like massively overweight. Like, right? Let's just be honest. This guy, have you seen him? He's not overweight. He's not fat. He's just a massive dude. His legs, he's just 300. I've never seen anyone carry 350 pounds like this. He's an incredible athlete, incredible specimen that we're just like, we can mold him into something. Just, we're going to take him. And he's played enough ball to be like, yeah, it's going to work. I can't wait to see. I don't know what to think, but I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Vacky in the 4th round. Again, another like, what do we got here? Running back, safety? What am I looking at? He's an incredible running back. And we take him. It's a utility player. It's a special teams player. It's a running back. It's a safety. It's a like fullback, H back. I don't know. We're just gonna use you, man. And you're a weapon. I'm for it, man. At first I'm like, oh, is safety? I guess we need a safety. Just an incredible athlete, football player in the 4th round. Cool. I'll take it. And then the 6th round is really where Brad Holmes just wraps this whole draft together and makes it outstanding. And what he does is he goes and gets Wingo, a defensive tackle. Now, why he's in the 6th round is because he is undersized. But this guy was a team captain at LSU. He wore the number 18, which at LSU is a really big deal. It means that you kind of check all the boxes on and off the field. And so he's undersized. So we'll see. But he's like, trust me, I got this. So I love that. And you get a guy that's why he fell to the 6th round is he's productive. He's great on and off the field. We needed defensive tackle help. And then my favorite pick really is Christian Mahogany. We needed an interior offensive lineman. And it was just like, man, we're not really addressing it. And we go get Christian Mahogany, who is a guy that fell Everyone thought he'd be in about the 150 pick, 125 to 150. He goes at 210. Completely fits a need. I love this. Like, we need a need fit. Let's go and do it. And he does it. Love it. Overall grade B plus from Pride of Detroit. And by the way, Pride of Detroit, appreciate you putting this together. Pride of Detroit also puts this together where they go around. Lions turn in a top 10 draft class. So they look at analysts, how they're grading the draft, and let's take a look at it. PFF, A. I love PFF. I know some people don't. The reason I like PFF is just because it takes into account, we all watch offense, but it takes into account a lot of defensive things that you don't see or notice, like balls batted down, coverage grades, stuff that really doesn't show up and that you're not really looking for on when you're watching the games. So PFF, that's why I like it. It kind of captures things that you're not going to be able to really see on TV as much. The Ringer, A. Rakestraw, my 42nd overall player. We get him where we did in the 60s. Love that. A. Sports Illustrated, A. Brad Holmes is the new Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman, GM of the Eagles, who's very aggressive, very smart, always just seems one step ahead of everybody else. That's where Brad Holmes is. And Brad Holmes, we didn't have a third or fourth round pick this year, and he goes up and gets 2 fourth round picks, and we only lose, all said and done, next year we don't have a fourth round pick. Or no, excuse me, we don't have a third round pick next year. After all that, we get 2 guys that we just really weren't supposed to get. So great trading, great job by Brad Holmes. Sporting News, A. Bleacher Report, A-. And by the way, these are, again, shout out to Pride of Detroit pulling these together. These are like legitimate people that you're getting these reports from and these grades from, that's why I like this one. I'll make this video is because it's like, hey, PFF, Athletic, Bleacher Report, some legit stuff here. USA Today, B. Okay, let's see what they had. Now that they've tripled down on the 27th ranked pass defense, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, they joined trade, and then with Carlton Davis. So these are 3 new guys. They load up for an ever elusive Super Bowl run. Alabama's charismatic Arnold, in particular, should be a great culture fit. Oh yeah, he's a great culture fit. We didn't spend enough time on Terrion Arnold. We could talk about we've made individual videos about him just because he's incredible on and off the field. NFL.com, B. Mel Kiper, B. Associated Press, B. Like, we're just kind of flying through these now. B. But I want to get down to some of the lowest one was a B-. They love Arnold. Vacky is a great do everything. He's just small. Yep. You know who else is small? Barry Sand. No. Yeah, he's small. For as much as I love what the Lions have done over the past 3 years, especially in the draft, after the back-to-back corner picks, I didn't love what Detroit did in this draft. After the back-to-back cornerback picks, and that's valid. Like, seriously, you could make that argument. Hey, I didn't love those 4th-round picks of a unknown tackle and a utility player in the 4th round. But you take those aside, you've got the corners and in the beginning, and you've got those really solid 6th-round picks that I really liked. Those are good, and people cannot argue about those. But then you look in the middle, that those 4th-round picks is really going to tell the story of this draft. Is Giovanni? Can you get him in? Work him out? Head down. Penei Sewell takes him under his wing, and he's turns into this like monster of an offensive tackle for years to come. Then, all right, awesome. Vacky, you've got him out there doing some things with. I mean, that the problem is, and this is such a good problem, is like we don't really need you offensive weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams. It's not like, oh, sweet, we needed a weapon. I guess more is better weapons wise, but that's why it's like, So let me know your thoughts in the comments. A ton of good stuff from the Lions. Again, don't take it for granted that just smartly played versus some of the other teams in the NFL that just make boneheaded mistakes that cost you. That was us for so many years. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.